Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach,
the podcast where fitness is more about fun than form.
I'm Sara, the fitness expert who lifts heavy and loves a good challenge.
And I'm Caleigh, a newbie who runs more for survival than sport.
We're here to remind you that fitness doesn't have to be serious,
but we definitely take the snacks seriously.
So if you're looking for some laughs and a few questionable fitness tips,
you've come to the right place. Welcome to season 5. Hey, welcome back to Nacho Fitness Coach, the podcast where Sara's soapbox is always ready, and I'm always ready to knock it over just to see what happens.
just to go kick it out from under my feet.
Just give it a
little nudge.
What I'm here for.
My youngest today getting ready for bed. Like, we have this footstool in the bathroom
and you
for them to
kicked it
stand
out
on.
From under him?
I did not. I did not. But they know that if they get a little too close to the edge, man, that thing will tip over. And she messed around and found out.
Poor baby.
She caught my leg, but it scared her a little bit. And I'm like, well, that's why we talk about making sure that you stand in the middle, because it'll tip over.
You are just like me like that. Like when my kids get hurt, I'm like, well, that's why we don't do that.
Yep. No empathy. Kid, that's why I've tried to tell you, that's why. And so I said, that's why we make sure we stand in the middle, because if you get too close to the edge, it's going to tip over. And so when she's 3.5, and when she stepped back on it, there's like a kind of hole in the middle where there used to be a button. You know, it used to be a footstool, so it had this decorative kind of button in the middle. And so she stepped up very carefully and looked to see where that hole was, and she put her feet gently, right on each side of that hole to make sure she was exactly in the middle. I'm like, see, there you go. Now you know that you're in the middle and you're not going to get too close. It won't topple over. And she was like, okay, mommy.
Your youngest we need to talk about your youngest, because kids don't generally like me. There's just something about my demeanor that little kids don't prefer.
You're not overly warm to children either.
I'm not, but and she didn't as a baby. She didn't like most people.
She did not like anyone until after she was 14 months old.
And then all of a sudden this past summer, she decided that she really liked me.
Oh, yes.
And
you're her adoptive mother.
And she would always want to sit on my lap, and she's so serious. And then there was that time at the Bands on the Bricks event where, because my daughter then, my 6-year-old, was kind of starting to get jealous of your daughter always sitting on my lap and stuff. And so your daughter had been on my lap, and then she scampered off to go do something. And then so my daughter came and sat on my lap, and your daughter came back and she goes, that was my spot. And Audrey goes, well, I'm going to sit on my mommy's lap for a little bit. And Ava looks straight at Audrey. It scared me a little bit. And she goes, you have 5 minutes. And I wonder where she got that from.
I have no idea. She's been well trained. We live on timers in our house. Everything is a timer.
Oh my God. I about fell over.
That's awesome.
But like I said,
5 minutes. That's how she's learned how we take turns.
Yeah.
We set a timer and we take turns.
It's funny because your kid, Ava, she doesn't like most people, but she likes me, and most kids don't like me. So I think you need to get her into therapy or something. I think that is kind of a red flag.
A red flag.
Kind of.
She's actually because she's she doesn't really remember your name all the time.
Clarice and Audrey's mom.
It's Clarice and Audrey's mom. Is Clarice and Audrey's mom going to be there?
Yeah.
Is their mom going to be there? Their mom. Be like, oh, Caleigh? Yeah, Caleigh. She going to be there?
I just love her.
And she's she comes up and she's like, you're at your side. Yep. So that's
so funny. I felt so bad because at my daughter's party, it was crazy. There were 30 kids there. It was wild. I was trying to wrangle and I couldn't
Yeah, and Ava came in and said, will you go down to the gym and play with me?
Yep. I'm I can't.
I was like, I'll go. And she's like, no, I don't want you. I want her. And I was like, okay then. So yeah, but she's learned the hard way a lot. She's a tough kid. I have zero empathy for people that just fuck around and find out, because I'm fine.
Oh, I know that.
You deserve every ounce of that. Mm-hmm. So it's not, I don't really care what age you are.
No.
Honestly, even when they were infants, if they would throw their toy down on the ground and they'd be mad that they didn't have it, I'm like, you threw it there. What do you want me to do about it?
These are the consequences of your own actions.
Yeah. would you solve your own problem? Because I didn't create that.
That's fair. What are we talking about today?
I think we need to talk about you.
Okay. That's my favorite subject.
Because, you know, while we're recording and we're kind of all together, I mean, it's an entertaining event. Like, you know, we get together every few months.
Oh, yeah, these weekends are so great.
And we have a weekend. It's a great outlet, but it's really actually my only social outlet.
Yeah.
Other than our monthly dinners.
Yeah.
For Taco Tuesday. You know, I'm not very social.
No, you're not.
I'm very introverted. I'd prefer to sit at home by myself as much as possible. And that even means like without my own family. Like if I could just have that.
I'm that way as well.
I would be fine.
I do have a few friend groups, but
I don't even have those.
I'm your only friend.
Here, pretty much. Yeah. Yep. I mean, there's
and Alan.
And Alan. Oh yeah, Alan. You know, now listen, I do have some like random pockets of like friends, but lives are busy. Stages of life are busy. Like I don't get to see the people that I want to see as much as possible, which means I definitely don't have room for new people in my life because people I really already like, I don't get a chance to see as much as I want. So, but you know, we enjoy ourselves socially here. And so over the course of a weekend between the three of us, it's like not crazy, but it's like we go through a bottle or two of wine.
Sure.
We're sipping on something at the time that we're here. And I think you had like a revelation.
I did.
Because we've talked about it in a couple of different episodes, like between season 1 and season 4. We've talked about the effects of alcohol, how there's an impression that people have about how alcohol affects them or doesn't affect them. And some people think it's great. And some people are like, oh, but it helps me fall asleep. And all over the board, oh, it doesn't impact my hormones. Like, no, it's fine. It's just like, it's another drink. Like, it's not actually. It's not good for you.
It's poison.
It's poison.
It's actually really, really bad.
It's really bad for you. Even if it's made from grapes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
No.
You know, or wheat, you know, it's not really healthy in any way. But I think now you have data to support that.
I do, because we recently got iPhones, and I've always tracked my like sleep data, health data, whatever, when I had the Samsung watch with the Samsung Health app. But you know, I guess it only told you so much. So when we got our iPhones, we got this app called Athletic. They're not a sponsor.
Which I need to look it up because, Okay, continue.
We got this. My husband told me to get it. It's got, I don't know, it's almost even a little bit over my head. Like I don't fully understand everything that it's trying to tell me. But it was interesting. I wish, because I also got this app at about the same time I started the carnivore diet. And so I kind of wish I had that data.
How do you spell it?
ATHLY.
Oh, that one.
TIC.
Okay. AI Fitness Coach.
Yeah.
HRV based.
I wouldn't call it. I
mean, that's what it says. It's literally the name.
Yeah.
Athletic AI Fitness Coach. HRV based recovery, training and recovery. But out of 6,600 ratings, it's got 5 stars.
Yeah, it's a great app.
So I downloaded it. Okay, here we go.
I'm excited to get to know it better. But one thing that I now do know is I hadn't drank alcohol until we met up this weekend to record.
Right.
And so I had all the sleep data, and it tells you your recovery, like how much your sleep recovered you for the day.
Yep.
And that's based off of your average HRV during sleep. It takes these samples, and then your average heart rate during sleep. So mine's always like fine. I mean, my average, I don't know, I'm usually about in the 80s, 70s. And this weekend.
For what? What's the 80s, 70s?
For my recovery, my percent of recovery.
Okay, is it 0 to 100% of recovery?
Yeah.
And is that after you sleep?
Yeah.
It gives you a rating of like percent recovered.
And so then it even goes farther. And
what does it take to get to 100?
I don't know.
If you're only like 70 to 80, like in the 70s or through the 80s?
It also has to do with your exertion and energy burn.
What's your range?
I'm trying to explain this to you.
Oh, okay.
It also has to do with your exertion and your energy burn during the day. So
what's your energy burn during the day? Because mine just pulled on mine in from that health app.
We don't need to talk about it today.
Yeah, we should. How many steps do you have today? We haven't done that.
We're getting off track here. Hold on.
Wait.
Let's just one thing at a time. My recovery, well, I just told you, my average recovery is about 75%.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not bad. It's usually like it shows up green. And so like, that's good. This weekend, I drank alcohol both nights. Not a lot. A few glasses of wine, a couple of Jack Daniels, whatever, malt beverages. And Saturday morning, I woke up to a 28% recovery. And I I slept more than 8 hours and I felt like I slept fine.
Sure.
I wasn't like a restless, horrible night of sleep.
Right.
But just that alcohol and what it did to my heart rate and my HRV just tanked my recovery. So then it goes into my available exertion for the day.
Right.
And it tells you like, this is basically like how much you should exert yourself today to not go over your exertion rate.
Okay.
So I just thought that was super interesting and eye-opening. And and it gives you this really cool battery level that you can watch throughout the day. Now. So like it recharges overnight and then throughout the day and like based on your workouts and stuff.
Mine says I'm partially drained at 48%.
Yeah, I'm at 33%. So, but like here's my past 7 days. You can see like up, down, up, down, up, down. But then here's the weekend. It just kind of got like fucked.
Why? How is yours
because I was staying up later.
Because it pulled all mine from my health data.
You're not going to be able to do it right now. Jeremy showed me how to do it. You're going to have to go in and change the setting for your HRV so that it takes a sample like more often. And I think you have to do that in your health app.
Well, but I have my HRV getting tracked through my Rise app.
That's what mine looked like before I changed whatever. And we just don't need to go into it right now, but we can do that.
Okay.
I don't think it's sampling your HRV.
I have a sleep tracker. Ooh, I can change my sleep tracker to 8 sleep, which would be great instead of my watch because I do not wear my watch at night.
You don't?
No, because I have my smart mattress.
That's crazy. That's like why I have a watch.
Well, I just never was one to like take it off while I was awake to get it charged enough to be able to wear it at night.
I just charge it while I'm showering, but I shower in the morning and you don't.
I don't. So, I shower at night, which, I mean, I could shower. I mean, maybe, does it only take like 20 minutes to?
Yeah, it's not bad. Usually by the time I'm showered and like done getting ready, it's charged.
Okay, so with that, we're going to take just a quick little ad break.
Want more Nacho Fitness Coach? Find and follow us on social media.
Find us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Nacho Fitness Coach.
And on Facebook and X at Nacho Fit Coach.
All right, we're back. Well, where's the other? I'm trying to recovery preferences, prioritize sleep or mindfulness, HRV. This is crazy. I love this.
It's really cool.
I mean, you have to pay for it, but it's not that bad for a year.
Yeah,
I still feel like
we do the family sharing. So when Jeremy got it, then I automatically got it.
Yeah, we have that too.
Yeah.
So that should work for if anyone else wants to be able to get it. Respiratory rate. Do I add that? How do I add that? What's your HRV?
It's a good question. Hold on. See, and that's like I'm trying
to do like summary.
Oh, my battery just went down. You're exhausting me.
It also does your blood oxygen.
Look at my trends too. This is recovery versus exertion. So it was like all, fairly like doing a nice little dance.
Which button do you hit about that? Yeah. Oh yeah.
And trends. And then this weekend.
Yeah.
Awful.
Huh.
I'm trying to find my HRV. I'm
overreaching. My really exertion was above target exertion zone on most days, which.
And it also tells you your best, like, because I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. It tells me the best time to go to bed.
Which my Rise app does that because I'm getting text messages that say based on my circadian rhythm, it's showing when my melatonin window is, which is kind of awesome. So,
do you take melatonin?
No, but you have natural melatonin that kicks in based on where you're on your rhythm, and so
I've been taking melatonin.
Really?
I just started like a couple months ago.
Because it goes by when you wake, how much you slept the night before. I get text messages then like throughout the day where it's like, okay, here's your morning energy peak. And here's like the 2 or 3 hours that you're going to have most energy, which is like, maybe an hour or so after I wake up for like 3 hours. And then it's like, okay, you're hitting your afternoon dip. This is when your afternoon dip is, which I feel like when most people hit their afternoon dip, that's when you're really ready. Like people pound the caffeine. Mm-hmm. Try to get through that. And it's like, no, you shouldn't. And then actually I have mine set to also give me an indicator of when to stop my caffeine intake, which is around like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And I have most of the notifications turned off on my phone because I get alert fatigue, but I have it text me. So I see it like on my watch. And then it says when my dip's going to be, I'm like, okay, this is be my time. So I've actually rearranged then like the activities that I have to accomplish during the day based on, I'm like, okay, this is like housework time in the morning.
Sure.
In the middle afternoon, it's like I'll sit down and do like computer work or whatever.
That makes sense.
And then it kind of stinks. I hit like my evening energy peak when I'm putting the kids in bed. I'm like, why am I wasting my energy for? I need them to be a little older so they can 2 out of the 4 do their own bedtime routine, but the little ones still need help. And so, and then it gives you, after that's done, then you have like an hour window for like your natural melatonin window, which is when you should go to sleep or whatever. So, okay.
My HRV is, it says 806. It measured it, average 56.
Mine's 53.
And you want it to be lower, right?
You can just go into this.
I couldn't find it in there.
Go back
it's hard
to.
It's I'm
yeah, it's a little data
to navigate it.
And so you go health in the health area. If you tap on that, then okay. So my HRV is 53.
My most recent is 60. My baseline is 72.
Where do you see your baseline? Oh, I see that. Oh, down there. Baseline is 70. My baseline is 52. Like when I was pregnant and my heart rate would be like so low, they would look at me like, "Are you okay?" Because you know pregnancy is supposed to raise all that stuff. I was like, yeah, I just have like a naturally lower resting heart rate. My resting heart rate is 56. Baseline is 52.
Oh wow, my resting heart rate is most recent is 66 and my baseline is 59, but I've been drinking this weekend.
I did too. Oh, no,
not like me.
That's true. That's very true.
Look at this spike.
Yeah, resting heart rate. Dang. Why did
yeah, my resting heart rate last night
so here's where I've had my spike, because it was like right before Thanksgiving. That is when my neck and shoulder started bothering me, and I was up like for hours in the middle of the night.
Crazy to see like how
and then
things will affect that. When you don't know, I just feel like before I had all this information, even before my Samsung watch, it was I never correlated things. I was never like, I wonder why I feel so shitty this week. Well, maybe it had something to do with the fact that you binge drank all weekend.
Yeah. maybe has something to do with that. Man, I have like 2 significant drops in my blood oxygen level. It like dropped down to like 87%, and that one was like 86 on November 22nd. Wonder what happened there. That's weird.
Well, and I like comparing because we also have this other sleep app called Auto Sleep. Also another good one, but it's fun to compare my auto sleep data to Jeremy's because he has sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you died like 3 times last night.
Oh, yeah.
You were dead.
Yeah. Their hearts, they stopped breathing. Their heart's done. Your respiratory, respiratory, rate is in here. HRV explain.
And it measures your wrist temperature if you're wearing your watch.
I do wear my watch, but where's that at?
At night.
Oh, at night.
It's under, I don't know.
Maybe I should wear it one night just to kind of see.
But yeah, I got up when we were in Texas. I got up to like just under 99 for my temperature, which is unusual for me. I do not get fevers, even when I'm sick.
Oh, dang. It even like knows when you get 2+ hours of sunlight. Like if I've been outside.
Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's a great app. I'm enjoying it. It's like the first thing I check in the morning.
My sleep performance has been garbage with all of the... That's crazy. I do not like to see anything in the red. That's obnoxious.
Well, I know what our weekend habits generally, like our bedtime or schedule on the weekends, we'll typically push it to like 10:30 or whatever. But I hate it because it does, like it screws up my consistency and my averages. And I want everything to be like nice and green, nice and even.
Yep. That's called social sleep lag.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to be more social, and so it adjusts everything else.
I'm trying to be more social. I'm trying to watch more Ted Lasso.
Well, you got to get... Good thing there's only 3 seasons. It doesn't take that long to burn through that one.
Up. And then we watched Shrinking.
Oh, I love Shrinking.
I did watch it. There is going to be another season.
Yeah. But isn't that funny? It was like the first episode where she's talking about, she's got her big old water bottle, like her gallon water bottle jug.
For the next season, I won't spoil it, but Roy Kent from Ted Lasso.
Yeah, he's in there.
Is coming. Is that already a thing?
Yeah.
It's already out?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because every time I see him and I'm like, Roy Kent, Roy Kent.
I didn't know that. We only got to Ted left. He went back home.
Right.
Spoiler.
Ted Lasso's gone. Oh, Ted Lasso's done.
Oh, he is?
Ted Lasso. There is not. It did not get renewed. Ted Lasso didn't. But then Roy Kent is on Shrinking.
Oh, wait. Let's rewind and start over. Let's edit that part out.
You can't edit back. Did you have switched around? You're
Roy
ding dong.
Kent is coming on to Shrinking.
He is on Shrinking this season. He is.
Is it playing right? Like it's on right now?
Yes. But this is in the season where like you can only watch one episode a week because it's dripping out. Like
we don't watch it on Apple TV.
Oh, that's right. You don't.
That's all I'll say.
That's right. You don't.
So I think we're gonna have to wait till it's out.
No, it is out, but it's the current season, so you have to like wait until.
So then Ted Lasso, he left.
Ted Lasso's done. That
I
show
heard it was going to get renewed.
It's not.
That's why I was confused. That's why I got confused about what we were talking about.
I don't think it's getting renewed.
I heard it is.
I'll be surprised.
I don't think it's official yet.
All right. I heard it was done, but Shrinking is awesome.
I like it. I had read that like if you love Ted Lasso, you should watch Shrinking, which is like I get it, and
it's totally different though.
It's a lot deeper. It's like more of an emotional.
Yeah, but I love Harrison Ford. He actually reminds me a little bit of my dad.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but it's just like maybe because they're like the same age or whatever. But yeah, he's just like.
What is the female co-worker's name?
Gabby.
Jeremy said I kind of remind him of Gabby.
That's awesome. I also, growing up, I did not miss a week of the Drew Carey show. Like that was my Wednesday nights because growing up, there was never like school activities on Wednesday nights because around here, everything's church night on Wednesday nights. And so Wednesday nights through high school was always my night. Then I would go to my grandma and grandpa's house and like, I'd get home from school, get home for practice, and then eat and go down there for a couple of hours every Wednesday night. That was my routine. Because it was Drew Carey show night. Like I knew they were sitting there watching it. Well, Liz, the next door neighbor, was on the Drew Carey show.
Yes, she was.
And so like I just think that's kind of fun because
she was also in something that we watched recently. Can't remember.
So I do have a bad habit though of picking shows that do get X'd. Like right on like cliffhangers, right? Like I mean, unless I'm surprised, Ted Lasso.
Yeah. That's really sad.
I'm really hoping that Shrinking is not one of those because it's a good one. But like years ago, Smash, I was addicted to Smash. Did you ever see that one?
No.
You like Broadway, so it has Catherine McPhee in it. And it is about her moving to New York City to pursue her like Broadway dream. And like, I'm just a sucker for anything that's like Times Square, New York City. If I could move there tomorrow, I totally would. So, I'm like, oh, I'm living in the city and I'm watching this show. And it's all about her breaking through and then writing this new Broadway musical. It has Deborah Massing in it. And it is a great cast. And it left on a cliffhanger. God. Like a big cliffhanger. And I was like, no, what happens? I can't wait. And then it was just like, nope, not getting renewed. And that haunts me. But there was one character from that episode or that show that when I first saw Hamilton, the original cast on Disney, I was like, God, that guy looks familiar. Aaron Burr. I've seen him before. Okay, so with that, we're going to take just a quick little ad break.
Hey, y'all. Thank you for listening. This is show producer Audio Allen. While the girls are taking a break, and I kind of need one too, like, follow, and subscribe. Stick around. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back. Where have I seen him before? And it took me until I finally broke down before Smash came out on, I think it's on Peacock. You could purchase the seasons on like Apple TV. And I just wanted something to like tune out listening to a good episode.
So you don't just hop on when you're watching a show and you think you recognize a character? And
no, I should have. I definitely should have. But I was rewatching. I never would have put those two together though. Like it just kind of, he looked familiar, but I just never would have thought like he was on Smash until I was rewatching all those old episodes and I was like, oh, there he is. Yes. So yeah, but I used to like watch Will and Grace, and that's Deborah. And then, it was not Will, but it was what's his real name? The like best friend.
Good question.
He's
got a podcast.
He has a few episodes that he's in Smash then too. It's like a Broadway. Anyways, great.
Good talk. I love it.
Watch Shrinking.
That was a sidebar.
Shrinking is fun. Shrinking is
good. We're currently watching Severance. Have you seen that?
No, but it keeps popping up. Like it seems
wild.
Like, really
it's wild.
I am still waiting for Sweet Magnolias to come back, which I'm sure by the time this episode releases, it's probably had its run again because I think it was supposed to be in 2025. But that was another just kind of feel good.
Yeah, we like to watch TV.
Girlfriends
We usually
one.
watch an hour of TV, like 8 to 9 before bed on the weeknights. And then we'll just like indulge a little bit on the weekends and maybe watch 2 hours of TV. Just get crazy.
It's crazy.
What's crazy town
So
at my
crazy.
house? Wild. We know how to party.
Yeah, you sure do. Woo woo. Yeah, those are really good. But yes, Roy Kent does make an appearance on
I love Roy Kent.
Shrinking, but his character is totally different. So it kind of messes with you. Like sometimes I feel like when you see somebody
Oh, yeah.
in one,
You
like,
kind of get to know him as that person.
as that, yeah, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, he is way more
Yeah.
serious. It's a little different, but I still do really like him.
Well, and with the main character in Shrinking, it's Marshall from How I Met Your Mother.
Right, which I never really watched.
We watched the hell out of that show. And
That's
so for
funny.
me, my brain's like telling me like this is Marshall. Like later, Lily died.
Yeah.
And this is like
That's the only way any of this can make sense.
terrible.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's a really good show. But it hooked me from the beginning because it's like, I feel like it was even like the very first episode of the first few minutes. She's like trying to fill her like gallon-sized water bottle that's on this strap from like the Culligan water cooler, thing in their like
And then
little
she
office.
gives the old guy his own very own little water bottle and he uses it. So cute.
He didn't want to at the
Nope,
beginning.
but
And
he
then all of a
did.
sudden you're like, oh, he finally did. But she's like, water is life. And I'm like, yes, it is, Gabby. Yes, it is. Water is life. Oh, man. So, okay. So bringing it back a little
Let's
bit.
bring it
like,
back.
Alcohol definitely affects you. So if you are at least, if you're telling yourself that it doesn't,
Yeah.
you are
It actually does.
probably need to gut check the lies that you're telling yourself because if you are consuming it pretty frequently and unhappy with where you're at with your health or how you're feeling or your energy levels or you don't feel like you're sleeping, honestly, that should be the first thing. Just cut it out.
Yeah. The sleep, I mean, that's honestly been my main one of like of all the healthy habits out there. Like I preach it because it's so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a friend who she listens to this. Hey, Danny. She's known for years that she probably she probably had sleep apnea. And, finally she went and, did all the things, tested, got a CPAP and all that. And it's just like, she called me last week and she's like, I'm sleeping. She's like, I haven't slept in years.
Did she feel like she wasn't sleeping? Like, did she know it or she just now she knows
I don't know.
it?
I mean, I can't speak for her, but I think it was just one of those things that like things had just been the way that they were for so long. And, we're aging, we have things going on, we have stress, we have this, we have that. It's so easy to blame all those things on other things.
Sure. Or you just think that's the way it is.
You lay down and you close your eyes at night and you become, unconscious or whatever. And you're like, okay, I slept. But
It's not.
she wasn't sleeping. It's the same with my husband. Like he wasn't getting good sleep
No.
when you can't breathe at night
Yeah, that's a problem. Dying multiple
and you're
times.
dying.
Yeah.
So I probably shouldn't like divulge her health information over this wildly popular podcast.
She's our only listener at this point, so it's fine. Thanks, Danny, for sharing your story.
That was interesting. I'm like, and I'm so happy. I'm like, good. Get your sleep, girl.
Get your sleep.
Get it.
Well, so, we have the 8 Sleep Smart Mattress, which was kind of a splurge on ourselves last year for Black Friday. And so this was like the 2024 was the first full calendar year that we had data. And so another friend that we know that has it, he was like, hey, did you see your sleep in review? Your annual review of all of your sleep stats for this year. And I was like, no. And he goes, go look at it, because I almost texted you both to kind of, brag about where his was at. Because every now and then we'll get a text message from either like him or his wife where they both had like perfect scores the night before. And I was like, oh, I had a perfect score too. And then Dane's would be like, not perfect. Yeah. And so anyways, I did get this like year in review.
I saw it on your story.
Isn't that cool? Okay. So it did like all of the months, and then it had all of the like days of the month, and it kind of gave me like a dot where it's like if they're color coding like green, yellow, red, or whatever. So here's your sleep fitness, like your review.
Did you have like, was there a time of year that was like summer? Like were you?
No, I mean, look, the nights that I was gone is where we turn it off, like if we're traveling.
Oh, wow. That's cool to see too, though.
So you can see like, you know, the weekends that we're in Kansas City or the different weeks during the summer that we were gone for like huge chunks of time. And then like the rest of December is obviously still like black because we haven't had that yet. And so that, I have what?
That's really neat.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 10 nights where I've got red marks, which is not good. A handful of yellows, but like most of those are green, right?
Yeah.
And so,
That's
I mean, you
cool.
started off the episode saying you kicked me off my soapbox, but I'm going to go on a soapbox here now for a little bit because I'm like, it actually makes me mad that I don't have all green ones.
That would make you mad.
But my sleep score was 90, and I was in the top 10% of all sleep fitness scores, which of all people that use the 8 sleep, I'm in the top 10%, which I was like, that's kind of exciting. But then my sleep fitness score came in over, and then this one's specific to my peers of comparing me of women 35 to 44 living in the United States. And I came in higher than there. So I like did this little grid.
So you can continue to feel better than most people.
Yeah.
Good,
And
good.
then average REM sleep on average for that age group in the US is 23%. Mine was 25%. So a little bit higher, which is great. So it makes adjustments. It makes adjustments on the temperature of the bed to try to increase your average deep sleep. We were the same. Here's where I was irritated. Because you know how much I preach that you should be 7 to 9 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
7 to 9. And I'm like, but this just goes to tell you that whenever you crawl into bed does not mean you're falling asleep.
Yep.
At all.
No.
Because my average was 7 hours and 42 minutes.
That's about what mine is. And I've been getting docked for, because it's lights out at 9 and my alarm goes off at 5.
Yeah.
And you get docked for those 15, 20 minutes that you're not, technically asleep.
Yep. And
Which pisses me off too.
it pisses me off. And I mean, now the average is 7 hours and 17 minutes in my like age group. But I was like, no, that 18 minutes, man. That 18 minutes, though, consistently over a year is probably going to make a really big difference. And I was like, oh, gosh darn it. I mean, even though it told me I was the champion,
It's not enough.
it's not enough. I need to be over 8. So
Never enough.
now I have a legitimate New Year's resolution, though, where it's like, okay, I'm going to be better about making sure.
Because of the data.
Data helps you make informed decisions.
It really does.
And it takes the like emotion out of it, or like feelings of like being personally attacked, being like, oh, well, it is what it is.
Well, and I guess it was in the last episode that nobody will ever hear. We talked about
the lost episode.
we were talking about gamifying macros, macro counting. And I think, if you can sort of like make it a little competition or make it a little game, or that's what I was trying to explain on that episode when you kept verbally abusing me was just like,
liar.
there's all these apps out there that you can, like, you have the ability to like make it more informative, more fun, easier to understand. And that's cool. The sleep ones are nice because you don't really have to input anything.
No, it just automatically does it, which is very nice.
Fun. Whereas like food, nutrition apps, you have to like input
the effort,
scan barcodes.
right? Or just log food, whatever. But yes, it's so true. So it is, I think, worth investing in that side of it.
I do too.
Definitely worth that if you are consuming, and honestly, like if you are in your 30s and up, if you're consuming alcohol on a regular basis and don't feel like you have energy or you're not confident in where you're at with your body or whatever else, that probably should be the number one thing that you choose to cut out.
Well, and it's like, I mean, like because the alcohol affects the sleep.
Yeah.
So if you're drinking alcohol, yes, you feel like you're sleeping. As a matter of fact, some people drink to sleep.
Yeah.
Or they say
they
like,
think I fall asleep better because
like
I had that.
I'm gonna have a drink before bed so I can fall asleep. But
you fell asleep, but you're not sleeping
you're
well.
not sleeping as well.
No,
it's just crazy.
Yes, it is.
So I feel like just because I'm not quite as competitive a person as you are, but I do have that streak in me where I'm like, if I have those, it's like things, if it's like between something being red or yellow or green, like I want all this shit to be green.
Yep. Yep. See, and that's how it starts. There you go. But you didn't know that until you had the information. So
and it's like it.
Right. It's different when it's like right there in front of you.
It's kind of common sense. But yeah, when you see those numbers like that, like seeing that this weekend, I was like, oh my God.
Like it really does have an impact.
Screwed up my whole, like my exertion level for the day. Like I would wake up and it would be like maybe don't do anything today, you poor thing.
Your body is not ready for anything.
Just because I had a couple drinks last night.
Well, and a lot of people will use weekends though then to like get stuff done, or like housework or whatever else. So it's like, okay, you wrapped up work, you go to happy hour on a Thursday, or even you go out to, and see some friends on a Friday night and you have a few drinks. Well, then it's like, I mean, if you own a home, you're doing housework and stuff on the weekends. I feel like most people are like, if you've got kids that are old enough that you're participating in activities, you're running around doing those things, like you need energy. You don't got time for that.
No, right? I wish I had the data from like 2020 when I was just drinking every night.
Right. Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
That would have been really interesting. Do you want to recreate that?
Do it again?
Yeah.
Oh,
do you think you should?
Terrible time. What?
Like Biggie size me? Without your 30 days.
Oh,
yeah, but with alcohol?
Just with alcohol? Just no,
I
not
was
do it.
drinking. I was going through a hard time.
Yeah. It was a little bit rough for everybody in 2020, I feel like. Yeah. So, yeah, there we go.
So, yeah, we love it.
We love the sleep app tracking. We don't love the effects of alcohol.
We don't love
We're not going to change our habits here because it's only 4 times a year that we get together.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I actually
fine.
struggled with that because part of the carnivore diet is no alcohol. So I was like, shoot, we have recording coming up. Like, I can't go there and be sober,
Who would want to do that?
Who would do that?
Who would do that?
I set the intention and I made the conscious decision that I will allow myself to come here and enjoy a few libations with my podcast friends.
Oh, well, good.
So I did.
There you go. Look at you being a big girl.
Thank you.
Owning your choices. I love it. So, good stuff. All right. I think that's it.
Okay.
All for today.
All right.
Until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to head over to our Instagram at Nacho Fitness Coach and let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. And if you like our podcast, leave us a rating. See you next time.
You've been listening to Euphony Innovatives Sonified.